Welcome to the 2025 Annual Health and Physical Education Professional Development Series, where we dive into the heart of keeping students active, healthy, and inspired. Today, we're thrilled to sit down with Colton Trosclair, the Athletic and Activities Director at Montezuma-Cortez High School in Cortez, Colorado. With a passion for sports, education, and building strong school communities, Colton brings a wealth of experience from his time at Eastern New Mexico University, Lubbock School District, and his leadership in rural athletics. Whether you're an athletic director, a PE teacher, coach, or student, or just love the power of human movement, get ready for a conversation packed with insights and inspiration. Let's jump in. Colton, welcome to the 2025 Health and Physical Education Professional Development Series. As the Athletic and Activities Director at Montezuma Cortez High School, what's the heartbeat of your job and how did you end up here?
All right. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me. It's been quite a journey, and I'm proud to serve as the Athletics and Activities Director at Montezuma-Cortez High School. To start off, I'd like to just get into how I ended up in Cortez, Colorado. Um, Initially, I've always been involved in sports and activities. Since I was 3, 4 years old. I initially attended Texas Tech University, where I received my bachelor's in exercise and sports sciences with an emphasis in sport management. I then decided to continue my education and pursued a master's degree in sports administration at Eastern New Mexico University, where I was also a graduate assistant for the health and physical education department. While attending Eastern New Mexico online, I was working for Lubbock ISD, and my position there was a physical education teacher as well as the varsity boys soccer coach. With one semester left, I honestly decided to just take a leap of faith, and I applied for a physical education position at Montezuma Cortez High School, partially because we have some family here, and my wife, ever since we had our daughter, wanted to get back closer to her family, which are the ones that live here. Um, After the first round of interviews, they called back and they actually offered me to apply for the athletic director and activities coordinator position based off of my credentials and experience that I had. So that's kind of the gist of how I ended up in nice little small rural Colorado in the southwest of the state. I love it here. Growing up in Texas, everything was pretty much flat. I lived in Lubbock, Texas for about 13 years, and it's as flat as it could be. You could see your dog running away for 3 days pretty much. So getting to move up here where there's actually some forest, there's mountains. It's beautiful up here. There's plenty of opportunities for activities outside. That's how I ended up here, and I love it. Um, I would say that the heartbeat of my job is creating opportunities for students to grow outside as well as inside the classroom. I believe that honestly, by tapping into their interest and their passions, we're we're not just preparing them for the next game, we're giving them the tools that they need to be successful after high school. Some of those tools include confidence, discipline, and teamwork, which are lessons that stick with them way past graduation. So I definitely believe that the heartbeat is just giving those kids the opportunity to grow, whether it's in sports or in drama or any other activities. It's definitely a passion of mine, and I've learned to love the position that I'm in.
Excellent. So, going along with that, your work keeps kids moving and healthy. How do you, sorry, how do athletics and activities tie into the bigger mission of health and physical activity at MCHS?
Being part of a sport or activity does more than just keep kids moving. It helps them be more successful in school. whether it's being a part of a play, a musical performance, or in a sports program competing at a high level. Um, Research honestly has shown that students involved in extracurriculars honestly tend to have higher GPAs, have better attendance, and fewer behavior issues, and are more likely to graduate and move on to post high school, whether that's in college or any other avenue that they tend to pursue. At Montezuma-Cortez High School, we see this a lot of the time. When students are part of a team or a club, they just feel more connected, they're more motivated, and they're more accountable, whether that's staying eligible to participate in events, um, just keeping their grades in check and staying out of trouble. Athletics isn't, honestly, it's not about just competition. It's a very, very strong and powerful tool for academic and personal growth.
Excellent. So you went to Eastern Mexico University. What's one takeaway from your time there, here, that still guides you in your role today?
Honestly, the largest, most important takeaway from my time at ENMU is that leadership is honestly all about the relationships that you make or the relationships that you have with others. My professors, in particular, you, believed in me and held me to a high standard. And that honestly, that was the biggest thing that has stuck with me. And if you personally haven't believed in me or encouraged me to pursue my dreams and my passions, I wouldn't be where I am today. Now I focus on building trust and strong relationships with staff and students alike. Definitely that relationship piece with my coaching staff is very vital and very beneficial to have a successful program. And that's not just in terms of wins or losses. It's building those relationships, having that trust. And that trust goes a long way. And it's one way to build a very strong culture in the school. And it's the best way to get the best out of your staff and out of your students.
Excellent. I personally thank you for those kind words. The next question, we're going to be tying a lot of this together, is at Montezuma Cortez High School. It's in rural Cortez, Colorado. What's the biggest challenge you face in getting kids active, and how do you tackle that?
Out here in Southwest Colorado, like you mentioned, it's very rural. The closest city is about 45 minutes to an hour away, which would be Durango, which I still wouldn't even consider necessarily a city, more of a larger town than Cortez is. But one of the biggest challenges is just the access to be able to participate in extracurricular events. In our area, we have a very high population of Native Americans, and a lot of the Native Americans live on a reservation in Toyoak. And I mean, some of those students in particular have very difficult chances of finding rides to school, from school and events. It's just that access is the biggest part, but also, I mean, a lot of kids around this area struggle with the support from home. We have, like I mentioned before, we have a very low socioeconomic population, but we tend to meet those students where they are and give them every chance to participate in whatever endeavors they want to, whether, as I mentioned, choir, whether it's a sports program, drama, or band. I mean, these kids, they deserve to be able to participate. And so we kind of meet them where they're at. Anytime that a kid is struggling, whether it's financially or if it's a transportation issue, we do our best that we can to provide access to these events. If a student can't afford to pay our participation fee, we set aside a separate line item in our budget for scholarships, and that has been a tremendous outreach for this year. I mean, we've helped, I would say, over 20 kids just waive their athletic fee because we had previously set aside money for these kids to participate. We have to get creative, and at times it's difficult, but in the end, it's worth it to give these kids the opportunity to succeed in life, regardless of their backgrounds.
Seems like you're facing some challenges, but overcoming those. And I feel that, a lot of the people listening today can take some of these e- experiences that you've had and, work with those things and apply them where needed. So, can you share a quick story about a student or a team whose life was changed through athletics or activities? What keeps you going? So, basically, what I'm asking is there another story that you have that you would like to share?
Yeah, so there's one student that definitely comes to mind. I mean, there's definitely others, but this one was very close to me personally and my heart. I'm going to leave his name out, obviously for privacy
Yes.
reasons, but so he kind of give a background. He's a football player. He is now a senior. Um, he comes from a very rough background and not the best home life. When I started in this position last year, I was just starting to get my relationships built with students, kind of getting to know them, knowing their backgrounds. And I noticed that he was struggling. And like I mentioned, his home life was pretty rough. He had been staying on different friends' couches. One parent was incarcerated for domestic issues, and the other parent lived in Arizona. Both his grandparents live here, but he tended to not stay with them, and like I said, was kind of bouncing between friends' couches here and there. Football was the only thing that was keeping him in school, and last year, as soon as the football season ended, he dropped out. And I know with our head football coach, he has a very strong relationship, and even he lost contact with this student after he dropped out. And I mean, we were worried because we care about this kid very, very much, and we want the best for him. So throughout the summer, we didn't really talk to him. We heard he was working construction from a couple of his friends that attend here. And we were able to get in contact with his mother towards the beginning of this school year. And she ended up coming up. We paid for her hotel, and we were able to get the mother and the student to come up to the athletic office where the coach and I met with them. And we just had a heart to heart conversation and kind of expressed that what we wanted from him, and we wanted him to succeed, whether that was attending college or not. I mean, we just want this kid to be happy. We want the best for him. So we came up with a contract basically stating that if we were going to accept him back, that he needed to make sure his grades were kept up and that he had the intent to graduate. Um, so this year, I mean, he stayed eligible all football season, didn't fail once. So that alone was a huge um, success for us. That just seeing that he was trying his best and doing his best and actually had the intention to graduate this year. And when football season ended, we thought we were back in the same loop. We thought he dropped out, but he ended up going to one of our alternative education centers, not for discipline, but it's called Goal. And it's more of like a online, go at your own pace, but finish your credits up so you could graduate type deal. And so when we saw him do that, here we are now, 3 weeks away from graduation, and he didn't drop out. I mean, he's set to graduate. He's got his credits, and we even made a deal. The coach and I had to approach the superintendent, even though he attends another school. He's going to get to walk the stage with his friends here and his teammates and the staff that care about him. So, I mean, that's just a really rewarding feeling. I don't take credit at all. I give most of the credit to the football coach just because the relationship that he had built with this kid was what kept him in school. And we're very proud of him, and we know he's going to do something special after he graduates.
That's wonderful. I think a lot of us can resonate with that. If you can answer for sports recreation and management, sport administration, and coaching tuning in, what's one key lesson from your career they should take and run with?
So honestly, to those that are getting into coaching or sports leadership, the biggest takeaway that I've learned from being in this position is that you're going to have hard days. Things won't always go according to plan. You're going to lose games. You're going to have injuries. You're going to have parents and community expressing their opinions, and they may be unhappy at times. And sometimes the pressure just feels really heavy in that you're not good enough. But those days will teach you just as big as a lesson as the good days. And I'm speaking that from experience from last year to this year. I mean, I've had my ups and downs, and every moment has been worth it. And I've learned from decisions that I've made. I've learned from decisions others have made, choices that have been made. And I mean, you have to learn. And that's one of my biggest takeaways. I mean, stick with it, stay consistent, and show your athletes how to respond to adversity. I mean, it's easy to quit, but it's harder to stay and fight through it. Wins are nice, honestly. I mean, right now we've got very successful programs. We're hosting, first time in 20 years, we're hosting girls soccer regionals, and we have a very strong baseball team that should make a push for state, but that's not what it's all about. It's helping the kids grow into resilient and confident humans. That's the real reward. But you got to be that steady voice and be there for the kids. In the end, it's all about those that you serve. And in my position, it's all about the kids. I've got to have the best interest for those that I'm serving, and those tend to be the kiddos. You never know, honestly, like the kind of the story I just mentioned about that kid. You never know that you could honestly be the reason that they wake up and even show up. And that's the biggest thing that I want to share with everyone is if you show up, they'll show up. So be that voice.
Thank you, Colton, for sharing such powerful insights on athletics, health, and inspiring our students and communities. And to our listeners, whether you're a student or part of our community, let's take these ideas and keep the momentum going to promote active, healthy lives. Stay tuned for more from the 2025 Health and Physical Education Professional Development Series in the fall. Until next time, keep moving and stay inspired.